Hey there, welcome to Find Your Sun. I'm Cass.
And I'm Mare.
Join us as we find our sun through movement, nourishment, and well-being.
Awakened through the power of play. Let's dive in.
Hello, beautiful Sunseekers. Welcome to another episode of Find Your Sun. I'm Cass, and as always, I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, Mare. Today, we're incredibly excited because we have a very special guest. This is Tanya. She is a powerhouse bodybuilder who has an amazing journey to tell us about of strength and resilience and balance to share with us. I actually met Tanya through Instagram when I was first on the journey to Florida. And it's a funny story because I really saw her as like I aspired toward what she was doing. She was posting about how she was exercising so much, lifting a lot. She just kind of spoke to me. And so we had chatted back and forth a couple times. And finally I reached out and we had coffee. And
slid into my DMs.
She did. As I do. No, I'm just kidding. I slid into Tanya's DMs and, we've hit it off. And now I've really gotten the pleasure to get to know you. So
thank you for that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the audience should know too. This is actually our second time recording.
This is our second time.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Let's be honest here.
We can confirm. The video had cut out. You were saying earlier, so here we are recording again. I luckily do not remember our conversation because I have CRS disease, which is can't remember shit. So.
That happens to all moms, right?
Yeah, I think so. So I'm like, I'm like Dory over here. Like, okay, this is fresh.
No, yeah, that's okay. I feel like, that's motherhood sometimes because we have like a million things on our mind and we're just like, wait, where is that in the back of my mind?
Like when you like walk up to do like up the stairs for something, you're like, what? Wait, what am I doing here?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Already. Yeah. That's like a syndrome of some kind anyways, but welcome again. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself to our audience, the people that don't know you?
Okay, well, my name is Tanya Smith. I am 35 years old and I grew up in Maine and I moved to Florida when I was 18. So math, I've been here quite a few years.
How did you get into this fitness journey?
Okay, so my mother was always kind of a gym rat, right? Mm-hmm. So when I turned 14, actually it was a little after that. I'm a March baby, so it was the summer going into high school. So I was 14. She had me start going to the gym with her. She got me a personal trainer that entire summer and a nutritionist. And the nutritionist was in the gym that my trainer was out of. So I still am in communication with both of these amazing humans.
What?
And so that was kind of my introduction into the gym was with Pam, my personal trainer, and Mike, my nutritionist. And
that's a pretty great.
Did they still coach you?
Did what?
Did they still coach you?
So Mike actually did my nutrition for my first bodybuilding show when I was 24. So that's a 10-year later, but that was kind of my introduction, I would say, into the fitness world, was because of my mother doing that. And it definitely set me up for a great foundation because I wasn't just going in there willy-nilly, not knowing how to use machines. I had Pam with me showing me how to do everything, how to kind of almost build a split, all of those things. And that's basically how I originally got into it. I have like 2 decades of training, and that I've consistently for those 2 decades really, of course there have been off years where I take like a break where like when I was pregnant with Lily, I didn't handle pregnancy like super well. And I didn't weight train during that. I kind of almost regret that in a way, but I was just so not feeling great. So So that would be like an example of when I took like a break from the gym. But it's always been there for me. I've always been very comfortable going into any weight room and knowing exactly what to do. So that was my intro into it.
Yeah. And you met your husband there too, right?
I did. Yes.
I feel like a lot of your lifestyle kind of revolves around like going out and getting exercise. Not necessarily revolves around the gym, but I mean, you guys go, I see that like on Instagram, you guys are going to the gym together and everything. And
we don't train together, but when we're in there, we are enjoying the same activity on our own terms type of thing. We, the only really workout we can do together now that he's not squatting though, I guess we kind of we can train legs together, was like back. Like our chest workouts are that would totally not align.
But I mean, you guys are still going there together, and that's cute. And like that builds.
It's definitely bonding.
Yeah,
yeah, we have the same. Yes, for sure.
Builds your relationship. So no, thank you for telling us a little bit about what got you into fitness. What keeps you so disciplined though? Like I feel like people can get into fitness pretty easily, but then once you start, it can be easy to fall off again.
Yeah. I think a lot of times people get into the gym almost for like the quote unquote wrong reasons. Like they're doing it to like look better. Right. And I think, I don't think that's really sustainable. I think if you do it because you love the way it makes you feel, you want to feel strong, it's more of going for those reasons is going to keep you more, you know, keep you coming back, especially having strength goals, because then if you have a strength goal, to meet that goal you have to keep showing up, right? So if you're always chasing that physique is so diet based. It's so, I train the exact same way when I'm right now, and like I actually don't know how much I weigh, probably like 135 to when I weigh like 120 on stage. Like I'm basically training the exact same way. It's the diet. Right. That's like literally so much of it.
Myself,
so
like,
if you're going to the gym, really focusing on more like your lifts and not so much like a physique. Right. That's kind of will keep you more
I agree. Like having those long-term goals. And I think as a coach, I like to emphasize, like help people get to like their why as to why they want to even work out in the first place, like that intrinsic value that they have, because I think it's different for so many other people. Like some people want to work out to be healthy, some people want to work out because they want to like chase their grandkids around, and it's like it's just so different for so many different people. But anyways, so are you still training right now?
Always.
You're always like training other people, like
personal training.
Personal training.
Yes. So I personal train out of my home. We have a home gym. Twice a week. I have about 8 clients, I think, right now, and most of them I see twice a week. So it's around 16-ish hours a week.
Okay.
Which so like 8 hours a day. Yeah. And that's been really great and fulfilling. And I just kind of treat those 2 days as my off days from the gym. So that's kind of how I've been doing that. And that's been very great. And it's very, very fulfilling.
Going back to like when you started that foundation of fitness, I think that that's like where a lot of, maybe even a lot of our listeners are trying to figure out a way to break into fitness. Like how do you recommend like that they start their journey, because you started at such a young age, like at 14, and you had such a strong foundation built for you that, I mean, that's such a gift.
So how would you break into it? Honestly, not everyone can afford this, but there's so much free information online.
True.
But you also have to be super careful of who you listen to. That's another one. But I would recommend getting a personal trainer that has experience under their belt. There are lots of personal trainers too that I would be like, why are you training? I'm sorry to say, but like you don't have that experience. You're just doing it for a job. Yeah. Right. It's I would find somebody who has that longevity and that passion that will kind of get you into it. Like Pam, who was my first trainer, she's still training. She's probably at this point in her 60s, and she has the body of a 20-year-old
Wow.
still. Like, she's
Wow.
amazing because that's
Okay.
her passion. I would find somebody who that is their passion, and they're really going to help you. And then if not, there is, of course, there's free information online. There's the number one person I would probably recommend people go to is Jeff Nippard.
Okay.
He puts out so much free content, and he is science-based, and he's very well respected for a reason. So I would turn to somebody like that.
Jeff Nippard.
Yes.
Okay. I've never heard of him. That's
yeah.
interesting. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's so amazing how there are so many people out there to influence and like help us find ways to build our, either work out or find ways to just learn in general, you know.
Yes, and which is great, but at the same but at the same token, it's not, because there's so many people that are like, well, I want to stand out, so I'm going to tell people to do XYZ, when like XYZ is like so not a great idea.
Yeah.
Right.
But so there, I think of Jeff Nippard, I would say Lane Norton, and who's a female. I like Julia Renee. She puts out a lot of content. She's a bodybuilder for the IFBB. Those are just a few. Like, that's just 3 people that I would say off the top of my head that I would recommend people go to, and they're well respected for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Tanya. I'm glad you mentioned the IFBB, because that's the competition that you ended up doing. Or no, it was WBFF.
It's now called FMG.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
FMG.
Yes.
And oh my God, I remember when we were working together.
Yeah.
When I was doing pre and postnatal training for Woman Welcome, and I was like in shock by the like your swimsuit and the pictures and like just like the whole performance, because I've never really watched somebody that I knew
like go through it. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
It's crazy. And I remember like going out to eat with you. You're like, wait, does this have this oil in it or that oil in it?
Yeah. Well,
and,
when you're getting ready for a show, you have to be so intentional with the food, which if you already don't have a good relationship with food, I would 100,000,000% recommend not competing. Because if you don't have one, if you don't have a eating disorder, but you're almost like borderline, like don't have that great relationship, it will, I mean, 9 out of 10, it will give you an eating disorder.
oh my God.
You have to be so focused on food. The amount of females and males that come out of competing and that have pretty serious struggles with like binge eating, because you are so restricted, and then your ghrelin hormones and leptin hormones get all thrown off. Because it's a whole thing.
Your hunger hormones.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you already have that relationship, I would say definitely don't get that under control first. Your relationship with food.
Yeah.
And I dealt with that. I competed in my 20s, and both times I kind of came out, and it was really hard to start eating normally again, because you almost have this weird scarcity mindset where, well, I'm not allowed to eat that, but now I can. Well, I want to have like 10 of them instead of like it's a very weird. And then your hunger hormones are so messed up, you can't tell if you're full. Like, it's such a strange. So if you don't have, again,
you're almost like not in tune with
at all
how your body is actually feeling.
Yeah,
Because you're like force restricting it.
correct.
And then you're trying to allow yourself the freedom to find what hunger feels like or full feels like again.
Yeah, yes, exactly. We're like children. They don't need to teach them when they're full. They know.
Yeah.
Right. So when you come out of a show, you're so depleted. I think the leanest I ever was like 7% body fat, which is like literally insane. I'll have to show you pictures.
Oh my God.
Hold on.
Yeah, like my abs had abs. It was like literally
Hold
insanity.
Wow.
Yeah, that's so
incredible.
Don't recommend.
Yeah,
We're not
because-
recommending. We're just saying that's. But to have that discipline. What was your chief aim? Like, what did you want? What was it that motivated you so much?
So when I competed in my 20s, I
keep
think that my motivations were not great. I think it was really like, I want to look good. Like, I want to look lean. Like, it wasn't, that's another thing too, that I think why I'm so passionate about like not focusing so heavily and facing so much value on yourself for what you look like. Because it's so mentally unhealthy. Because then once you step on stage, everyone's like, oh my gosh, you're amazing, you're amazing, amazing. And you're placing your self-worth on that. And then when you come out of show and you gain body fat, because you have to, because you can't stay 7% body fat.
Fat is good for your brain. That's part of it.
Yeah, and then people stop telling you look good, and then if you really value that, it's your self-worth tanks. And then that can also kind of fuel that binge. It's like such a crazy post-show cycle. They call it the post-show blues.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I imagine it is, because you have this high.
Yeah.
This goal that you have. And then all of a sudden, like, you've competed.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, what's your,
well,
what are you
go
doing?
Backwards.
Yeah.
Right. So like you leaning up, coming up into the show, you're getting leaner. People are, praising you, praising you. You get on stage, you win or you don't win or whatever whatever happens. You come out and you're slowly gaining that back. And sometimes, some people that don't really understand the bodybuilding process, and not to call people out, but a lot of like older people in the gym will be like, oh, what happened? And that can that happened to me so many times. I'm
really?
And you're like, this is business. Like, this is supposed to happen. I'm doing this.
But they don't get that. They're like, oh, you worked so hard. Like, why'd you let it go? And then you have no idea. People are crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but like any competitor will back this up. Like that does happen, right? And then that kind of fuels your insecurities more. And if you really place so much value on your appearance, that will really rock you. It'll rock your world. So the last time I competed was spring of 23. Yeah. And the way I decided to kind of like mitigate those feelings was I was tried my hardest, of course, but I was like, whatever happens, happens. Like, I'm going to do my best. And of course I cared what I looked like, obviously, but I wasn't so focused on that. I also, when I came out post-show, I immediately put in strength goals immediately. So when I added in the food, my mindset was shifted to, all right, I want to squat this much. I want to bench this much. And it kept me consistent in the gym and lifting heavy. And I really didn't have any of those issues that I had in the past.
It sounds like you legit, totally did a mindset shift. You had learned, it sounds like you had learned from your experience and like how shitty that was. And you were like, that's not the mindset that I want to have. And correct. You're really something that I really value about you, or like that I think is really great, is like you don't compare yourself to other people. And you have, I think what won you that competition, to be honest, is just like the confidence that you showed. It wasn't about anything else.
It really wasn't. It was just kind of, and to be honest, I think I did it to prove to myself I could do it in a healthy way. Like I could do it with a healthy mindset, to prove myself like that those times in my 20s when I competed, that didn't like define my competing history.
Right.
It's funny you just said that you don't think I compare myself, because literally today at the gym, one of my gym babies, I love my gym babies.
You call your trainees your
I don't
clients?
train this person, but there's like that are, if you're 10 plus years younger than me, you're my gym baby.
Okay.
That sometimes I find myself taking social media breaks. Like people will notice all of a sudden I just won't post in my story for like a month.
We need that. That's probably healthy, I think.
But I do it because it's not that I'm finding myself comparing myself to others. As soon as I notice like I am posting something, like wanting a validation back, like, do you like how many views? I'm like, no girl, like that is not cool.
That's not why we're here.
Take a break.
Healthy.
So I'll find myself taking breaks from social media as soon as I start feeling like I care too much what people are like thinking or whatever. And not because I'm comparing, which I know that's definitely a struggle people have, is like the comparison game.
Everybody has that struggle.
It just sounds like
it's hard not to, but you have to try to understand like what you have and
everyone's
like
so
be grateful for the things that you have, because not everybody has what you have. Like just water your own grass.
100%. And that's, that's something that comes with time, that you kind of learn that.
Right.
I definitely have a very loving and supportive partner, my husband, and he definitely fosters that healthy relationship with that I even have with myself.
Yeah.
Because he definitely carries himself in that manner.
Yeah.
And he's a great example to even me, even though we're, it's not like he's a father figure, but he is definitely the leader of the house, and he definitely is a good influence.
Honestly, it sounds like you have mastered you versus you, like you against yourself.
I appreciate you saying that. I think so too. It's taken some time.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. I mean, and
but it's a
a
practice.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. Well, so not only did you compete in this competition, but can you walk us through like what it felt like to win the competition?
It was
like after you put in all that work.
Yeah, it was an incredible feeling, and it definitely felt just amazing. I was very proud of myself. I did have like a coach through the whole thing, but I kind of more used my coach as being a part of that team, which to this day, those girls that that were on my team, they're my best friends still, right? Especially one girl in particular, Veronica. Shout out to Veronica.
Hi, Veronica. Hello.
She is, I only know her because of competing. We were on the same team, and she is such a special person to me. And I really coached myself though to stage. Like that she would give me, advice like, I want you having these calories, these workouts. I'm like, yeah, I'm totally going to do that.
But you found what works for you.
I was so nervous to fall into those unhealthy habits again that I was like, I just need to do me and do this my way. And if I get last place, at least I tried my hardest and I stayed healthy doing it.
And you did it.
You did you and you won.
And everybody loved it.
Yeah.
That's what's really valuable in that is that you were just listening to yourself.
Right.
You had coaches, but you were taking their nuggets.
Yeah.
And then you were saying, okay, that works for me.
Would I totally advise somebody who's just starting to just wing it themselves? And I wasn't winging it. I have years and years of experience. My husband will be 44 this year. He started lifting like the same age as me. So 30 plus years, he lives in my house, right? So like I'm bouncing, and he has maintained, I know that viewers and listeners don't know what he looks like.
Oh my God. Okay. Let's tell you guys.
Let's paint a picture really quick for you viewers.
Just imagine some like massive lats. He's basically the Hulk, but he's actually real.
Yeah. And he's maintained that for decades, right?
Yeah.
So and he actually had the strongest bench in the country. 2014.
Tell us. Shout out.
But so I mean, having that person that lives with me, he wasn't, he only gives advice when I ask. He's definitely never someone like that is giving, like trying to boss me around with that type of stuff ever, never. But would I advise somebody to do that that's just starting? No, definitely hire a coach and listen to your coach. But I was just in a little bit of a different situation.
Well, you have had 21 years of experience
on myself. Yeah. But you know what's funny though?
Yeah. 10,000
is really hard to, because you see yourself in the mirror every day, know when to make changes. And that's obviously the beauty of having a coach. And listen, NFL players, they all have coaches, right?
Yeah.
Like they're professionals.
Yeah.
Right. So, but I had Brandon too, like to bounce ideas off of, like make sure, but regardless.
Yeah. Well, it's a compilation of everything.
Yeah.
All your coaches, all your training, everything coming into all at once. And here you are in this competition.
Yeah. So speaking though of competition,
tell us.
I was planning on competing like a little over a week in Dubai as being kind of like my pro debut, because I did turn pro last year. And I kept hitting these like mental roadblocks where I would get to a certain point of the prep and I would pull back. I'm like, I'm not sleeping well. Because again, like when you're lean, you're not sleeping well. Like it's just part of it. And like you just have to be okay with that. And
I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah. And like our children are our daughter's in 2 sports. Our son's in ice hockey travel. Lily's not traveling, but still it's 2 sports. And then we're on the road with Frank, and
Struggling
it's
a
just
lot.
a lot. And then
Yeah.
to not sleep. My daughter, we have to leave the house at 7 a.m. for school every morning. If we don't leave at 7,
That's early.
it is. And I'm like, if I'm not falling asleep till like midnight or 1, and I have to get up at 5 to make her like all the
Yeah.
things, it's just I kept finding myself in this cycle of not following the plan. And if you're not following the plan, you can't compete. I'm not gonna go on stage, like, not that I look bad right now, but I'm not competition lean right now. So maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I told this coach I really was more listening to, and I was like, I don't think I have it in me this time. Like, I'm just not going to show up ready. And she told me, well, would you mind coming anyways? Which I was going to, and judging. So I'm actually going to judge the competition.
What?
I know.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm judging the first FMG Dubai show that they're having. So that's kind of, it'll be super fun to be a part of still, and the relationships that I've built with that community is really special to me and important to me. So it's great that I still can go and be a part of it, just not being on stage.
Yeah, and you have to prioritize things. Like, we can't have it all.
And I don't compete it's not a part of my livelihood.
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing this because I like it. I
No,
love it. I
right,
enjoy it.
exactly.
And if it's
My
not
daughter's
serving
coming with me. My
needs,
brother's coming.
then
Yeah.
I
And your
can't.
family.
And
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Never.
Yep.
And you said this is next week?
Yeah,
There you
we leave Sunday night. My daughter's my daughter's coming with me. My
I'm
brother's
so
coming.
excited for you.
Yeah.
Dubai is going to be amazing. Have you ever been
I
there?
really do need to
Oh my
dedicate
gosh.
to
Super excited.
I've only seen
the
pictures, but I'm
competitions. I
just
think
like, whoa,
Thursday,
this place
most
looks
of
kind of
Thursday,
crazy.
It's next level.
Yeah, it's next level.
Yeah. We're only going to be there for 7 days, and 2 of the days I really do need to dedicate to
and then
the
Friday
competitions. I think
for
Thursday, most of Thursday, it's
and
kind
then
of like
we
the
have a
judge
tiny
meeting, like
and
we're
it's
to
the
get
night
together and
show,
talk
which,
about
the IFBB,
what are we
which I think
for,
people are more familiar
there's
with.
the
It's
athletes
the
meeting
same
that
setup,
I need to
basically.
be a part of, and then Friday will be prejudging. And then we have a tiny break, and then it's the night show, which the IFBB, which I think people are more familiar with, it's the same setup basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
Yeah,
you
so
have put so
hopefully
much
this goes well
passion
and they
into
like
everything
the way
that
I
you
judge, 'cause I
do
would
that's
definitely
why I'm sure
like
they
to
were
continue
like, oh
that
yeah,
side
she's
of
perfect
competing.
Why
to
don't
be
you
a
just
coach.
be
Yeah.
a judge?
Or a judge, I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
sorry.
hopefully this goes well, and they like the way I judge, because I would definitely could like to continue that side of competing, being more of the admin almost.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I also think
Well, and I feel like you have a really good
definitely will bring to
hold
the
on
table is I
or
can kind of look at
understanding
it
of what it takes to have that balance, and so you
why
can
it
help
should be
introduce
judged
or help
over another
bring
physique,
balance
like,
to the
you
competitions.
understand the muscles
Where
I also think one
you understand
thing
even
that I
the
definitely will
categories,
bring
which
to
a lot
the
of people don't
table
understand
is I
there's
can
different
kind of look at a
categories, of
physique
course.
and know
I think that will be
why it should be judged
I have
over
experience.
another physique.
Yeah,
Like,
and I've been following
if you
Yeah.
understand the
bodybuilding
muscles,
for-
and if you understand even the
years.
categories.
And
which a
my
lot of people
husband's
don't
never
understand the
competed,
there's
but
different
he's always
categories,
been
of
a
course.
very big fan of bodybuilding.
think
He did
that would be-
powerlifting.
You have experience in it.
Experience.
Yeah,
So-
Yeah,
for sure.
and I've been following
When we're watching
bodybuilding
TV at
for
night, we'll put on like old like
for
Ronnie Coleman
years.
videos.
My husband's never competed,
Which
but
is-
he's always
he
been
was a really
big fan
yeah
of bodybuilding.
yeah.
He
So
did
that is
powerlifting.
yeah
Uh-huh.
that is
So
yeah.
like when we're watching TV at night, we'll put on like old like Ronnie Coleman videos.
You know, Ronnie
You guys are in it.
Yeah,
Oh, cute.
So that is that
That
is
is so funny.
The bodybuilder that goes, yeah,
Oh my
buddy.
god. I know, I don't know very
You're
many
not in this world.
weightlifting
It's a very
videos, but I
niche-
do know.
It's such a
Ronnie
niche
Coleman is.
world.
No, I don't.
It's
Okay,
very,
he was-
very
yeah,
niche.
he's like one
to
of
be
my
honest,
favorites.
The
He's
point was
just
one of the
Mr.
most
Olympia?
famous
You know
Okay.
the bodybuilder that
people
was
hear that name and
buddy?
you're like, oh, the football player. It's like,
You're not in this world. It's
I'm
like
not
really
in the
I'm not.
world. I'm so
It's
I
such a
want to be
niche-
a
it's such a
world.
so niche.
It really
understand it
is.
more.
Very niche.
Yeah.
To the point where one of the most famous bodybuilders,
Who's
Jay
Jay?
Cutler. Like when people hear that name, they're like, "Oh, the football player.
Well, I don't think
only like
I
one
don't
of the
think
best
he
bodybuilders
is
that's
the
ever
he's
lived.
one of
Like
the
it's
best.
such a so
okay.
niche.
So
What do you think makes
what would
this?
make him
What
one
do
of
you
the
think
best?
makes him the best
I would
bodybuilder in the
say
world?
His
Jay?
Yeah.
symmetry, his
What is it that you
size,
admire about him?
The conditioning.
Well, I don't
Or
think
everybody
I don't
admires
think,
about him.
I don't think he
He
is. He's one of the best.
Okay.
Okay. So what would make him one of the best?
Probably
Yeah.
close to
I would say
so
his
at this point.
symmetry, his size,
he's really one of those guys
the
that
conditioning
has come out
he
of
could
it
come in,
and really
come in, and
maintain
he
his
is.
physique.
I don't know
Obviously,
how old
he's not
he
a
is
monster
now,
like he was
but,
with bodybuilding.
I think
but he has
probably
stayed.
close to
He hasn't let it all
50
go. I
or
should say.
so maybe at
and
this
I respect
point.
that.
But he's really one of those guys that has come out of it.
I mean, yeah.
and really
To an
maintained
extent,
his-
like he's not
his
the
physique.
same guy he
Obviously,
was on
he's not a
stage,
monster like he
right?
was
Because
when
that
he
would be
was bodybuilding.
insane.
But
Just the
he
level
stayed
of
he hasn't let it
even
all go.
confidence
Yeah.
you have to
Okay.
run
And I
to
respect
be
that.
that size.
Yeah.
You can't
He's maintained.
continue that.
I mean, yeah. To an extent, like he's not the same guy he was on stage, right?
Yeah.
Because that would be insane.
Yeah.
Just the level of even compounds you have to run to be
Yeah.
that size.
Steroids.
You can't continue
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
Compounds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you're
Yeah,
using
you
some
can't do
words.
I'm
that.
like, I don't know what
It would
this
be
is.
so nice. And all those guys.
Maybe I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't.
Steroids.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so yeah, that would
Yeah.
not be possible.
No, you can't do that long term. It would be so
No.
unhealthy. And all
Yeah.
those guys are.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's that world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you feel like this is okay? Find Your Sun is all about like that inner light. Like, what is that thing that like makes you glow
that's a
inside?
really good
Do you feel like this is like bodybuilding is
I
the
wouldn't
thing
say
that is
bodybuilding is my number one.
it like makes you come
honestly.
alive,
It's something
or do you
that's
feel like it's
super
just something
fun
that you fell
and
into at an early age
I
and
really
you
enjoyed
loved
It's
it?
I think
enriched my
that's a
life.
really good
but what gives
question.
me my son?
I wouldn't say bodybuilding
Definitely,
is
of course,
my
being a mom.
number one. Honestly,
That's
it's
so
something that's
fulfilling.
super fun, and
I've been a mom for
I
almost
really enjoyed
my
it
life.
because
I had my
enriched
daughter
life.
so young.
But what gives me my son,
yeah,
definitely,
so
of course, being a mom.
that is
Yeah.
obviously a
That's
huge.
so
Yeah, I was
fulfilling.
22 when I had her.
I've
yeah,
been a
I
mom
just turned
for
22.
almost
yeah,
half
yeah.
my life.
On March,
Because I had my daughter so young.
but
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's
so
of course.
that is
very
obviously
Yeah, 22. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was
But
22.
for
I was 24.
Taking
Yeah, I
every,
just
everything
turned
outside
22.
of
Really?
it. just
Wow.
focus
Yeah,
on
on
Tanya
March
is
she's May.
on her own
Oh.
time. I love
But
weightlifting. That is
That's
such a.
of course
It is so
it's very
fulfilling to me.
fulfilling.
To
But for
be in
just
the gym
taking
and
everything
honestly,
outside
I
away
love-
and
I
just
love
Tanya when
weightlifting.
Tanya
It's-
is on her own, I love weightlifting.
Yeah.
That is such a it is so fulfilling to me to be in the gym and honestly weightlift. I love weightlifting.
Yeah. Well, and we were just talking about, and I think we all kind of see that, you know, but I think something else that people don't see as much of you that I've noticed is like you are really good about also keeping your well-being, like taking care of yourself in ways that don't include fitness. What are some of the things that you do for your mental health, for your emotional well-being that keep you so balanced and zoned in on a daily
You know
basis?
what's funny
That's a
is
really good
when
What do
when Brandon
No,
is
because
at
I
home,
feel like you
I
were
feel
like always
I, like,
really
fall
conscious
apart.
about your sleep. So like, what is your sleep routine? Like, what kind of?
He's like, what's funny is when
yeah, because it'll be like
when
8
Brandon isn't
o'clock or
home,
so,
I feel like
and if he sees
I,
me on the
like,
couch,
fall
kind of like
apart.
relaxing, I'm like, "Daddy would
I think I fall apart when David leaves too.
Yeah, no, I think we all experience that a little bit.
because he knows it takes me like an hour.
And if he
Yeah.
sees me on the couch, kind of like relaxing,
But then,
I'm going to bed, he's
because
like, "Go to bed."
He puts you to bed.
Because he knows it takes me like an hour.
Really? Yeah. Hold on. Tell us what you do.
Yeah. Wait. What?
Then because
Yeah.
because it takes me that long to
so
go
great.
to bed time.
literally
Yeah.
9:30.
Yeah.
So like he keeps me on my. He keeps me
Okay,
on.
so
Take your pills,
yeah.
Tanya.
It's a
That's what you guys will be like. Like, you're like,
So what is my hair wet? Literally, you want to know like my
well,
Yeah,
just
tell
like
us
a
your night
couple
routine. I
things
wanna
that
know.
like,
Okay.
yeah.
An hour, yeah.
Yeah.
My hair is wet.
So
It's
obsessive.
at its
I love it.
most state.
I try
So
to
if
always
you wanna have-
do a body shower,
especially
and
my
I,
hair
like,
is so
so I
blonde,
don't like
which
to
the
go to bed
viewers
with my
couldn't
hair
see.
wet, and I don't think
I kinda
anyone
have to
should.
baby it a
So
little bit.
damaging to have wet hair when you
So
sleep. 'Cause that's
I
when
try
your
not
hair is
to.
wet,
If I
it's at
have
its
to
most
wash it, I'll
vulnerable
blow dry
state.
it.
So
before
if
bed.
you want to have healthy hair, especially my hair
So
is
anyways,
so
so-
blonde, which the viewers can see.
So blow dry it before bed.
So I try not to. If I have to wash it, I'll blow dry it
Okay.
before bed.
Yeah.
So anyways,
That's good to know
yeah.
because I do that all the time.
Yeah, so blow dry it.
No, just like
You
I'll
gotta
shower before bed
Just-
because I
think
don't
to-
shower in the morning because I have to
I'm
get
not
up.
making this
Yeah.
up.
I have to
She
get up
has a thicker, I think you have
early.
a thicker follicle.
But
But
I think
still,
there's a difference.
I do understand because like I'll wake up with the frizz and I'm like,
it
sucks.
Just
Yeah.
I think
cleanse,
too,
so I'll use
and
like a
I'm not
micellar
making this
water,
up,
take off
definitely,
all. I don't really wear
your
makeup.
cleanliness
Right, I have
when
like
you sleep will
sunscreen,
definitely
like some
affect your
blush,
sleep
and
quality, right?
mascara, all the things.
And then
So I'll do a micellar
and
with
then
a
I'll double cleanse. So I'll use like a micellar water,
And
take out
then
all. I don't really wear
I'll, take a
makeup.
shower,
Right,
and
I
I'll
was like
do- I like
sunscreen, like some
CeraVe,
blush,
the
and
green
you know,
one. It's
mascara,
like
all
the
the
gentle
things.
cleanser.
So I'll do
that
micellar
one
with a
first,
cotton
and I
round
have
and
like
take off
like a silicone, like
my
a little
face.
scrubby thing, and I'll
And
use
then
that, and then I
get in the shower and I'll do. I like CeraVe.
You know what's funny? I can't remember the brand, but it's in a
green
glass
one. It's
bottle.
Oh, yeah.
gentle
And
cleanser.
it's like light
So I'll
green.
do
It's
that
like
one
a pale
first,
wash.
and I
I'm talking
have
about.
like a
Yeah,
silicone, like a little
it's like
scrubby
super.
thingy,
I
and
forget
I'll
what it's
kind of use
called.
that. And
If
then
there's
I
like YouTube, we'll link the products or something.
You know
Okay.
what's funny? I can't remember the brand, but it's in a glass bottle.
I'll do
and
that.
It's like light
Yeah,
green.
it's,
It's like a kale
there's
wash.
other
you know what I'm
ingredients.
talking
Oh,
about?
in it,
yeah,
too, but that's
I've
the
used that.
standout one
Like it's
that
like
I
super.
remember.
I forget
I've
what
think I know
used
it.
it so many
If there's like
times. I
YouTube,
should
we'll
know
link.
this.
We'll link
Yeah.
the
Okay.
products
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Regardless.
There's the YouTube.
Yeah.
I'll do
Okay, kale
that.
wash?
Well, I think
Yeah,
it's
it's
the
there's
bottle
other
is
ingredients in
glass,
it
and
too,
the
but that's just like a
product is
standout
like
one that I
the
remember.
color,
I
the
purchased
writing
it so
kind
many
of doesn't
times. I
stand
should
out.
know this. I can't remember the brand name.
That's okay.
It's
Regardless.
clear.
They need to work on their branding then.
But I
Well, I think
appreciate
it's
that it's glass.
The,
It makes me
the
feel
bottle is
healthier.
glass,
I'm like,
and
oh,
this
Oh.
product is like a light color. The writing kind of doesn't stand
So I'll do
out.
that.
Oh,
cleanser
and
second.
they,
Meredith would
this
know.
This is an opportunity.
Branding expert
this
over
is an
here.
opportunity for
But I
them.
appreciate that it's glass. It makes me feel healthier. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Like
this
the
is better for
Clean
me.
Towel Club.
At least we think, right?
So I'll do that cleanser second, and
then I use
then
the
you know,
Paula's
get
Choice
out.
BHA,
I use a fresh
toner.
clean like
It's in a
towel
like a
wipe.
dark gray.
They're like the
blackish
tea
bottle.
Oh,
towel
yeah.
club.
Mm-hmm.
I'll use that to dry my
And then
face.
I'll do a
Obviously,
layer
dry my body like
of
normal.
the
And then I use the Paula's
CeraVe.
Choice BHA
Just the regular
toner.
moisture
It's in
lotion
like
stuff.
a dark gray
I'll
blackish
do a
bottle.
layer of that for
And
after
I'll
the
do that
toner,
everywhere,
and then put on my
I'll do a layer
tretinoin,
of
which
the CeraVe.
tretinoin is
It's,
kind of a
the-
combination,
just the regular
and I might be misspeaking
moisture
slightly,
lotion
but
stuff.
almost like a benzoyl
I'll do
peroxide
a
and
layer of
salicylic
that for
acid, which
after
those both
the
do different.
toner.
Those are
and
two
then
different
put on my
actives, but
tretinoin,
where
which
benzoyl
I have that.
peroxide will
yeah, tretinoin
basically
is kind of a
kill the-
combination, and I might be misspeaking
bacteria
slightly,
and salicylic
almost like a
acid
benzoyl
for,
peroxide and a salicylic
encourages
acid, which those both do
basically
different. Those are
turnover.
two different actives.
Tretinoin does both.
Where benzoyl
And
peroxide
you can
will
really only get that from a doctor's
basically
office.
kill the
And the tret that I have is
bacteria, and salicylic
0.025
acid
That's the one I
encourages
prefer.
basically turnover
Because it's
Tretinoin
cell
does
turnover.
both.
Okay,
That's
so it
and you can really
encourages your
only
skin
get
to
that from
turn
a
over.
doctor's office.
But I sandwich it,
And
so I
the
do
Tret
a layer
that I have
of
is,
yeah.
point
I have very
0.025
sensitive skin.
currently. That's
Yeah.
It's supposed to like help with aging too, right?
because it's cell turnover.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it
And you're only
encourages
doing
your
this
skin
at
to
night,
turn
right?
over.
Okay, good.
But I
Yeah,
sandwich it, so I do that layer.
Me
of,
too.
Sun exposure.
Yeah, I have very sensitive skin.
Me too.
Yeah.
I use vitamin C as my
so I'm like at every
my
night.
first layer,
I
and
do
then
it
I
every
put the
night.
Yeah, I
tretinoin
mean,
on top.
I don't know if that's
and you're only doing this at night, right?
Yeah, only at
good.
night.
Yeah.
Just to sleep, and I
Because
only
you
do
don't-
like
you don't want sun
3 to
exposure.
4 times a week. Like I don't
If I
do it every
such a low
night.
percentage,
Okay, so I'm like
I think you should do it every night.
I do it every night. I mean,
I just felt like I was
don't know
putting
if that's
too much on my
so I
face,
do
and I didn't want to.
Sometimes people say
Anything
to
that is
do it
another reason
not
why
as
people do it.
often, but just because
And
it
then
can
on
be
top of the
irritating.
tret,
But
like
yeah,
such
it's
a low
just
percentage.
Yeah.
I even
the La Roche Posay
0.05 is too much for me. So I
Yeah.
do 0.025.
These are like drugstore
I
products.
think
The
that
only thing that's
is
not a
another
drugstore
reason why
product
I'm
is
able
the
to do
Tret.
it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then on top of the trip,
Yeah, this is all,
I'll
like,
do
so simple.
my
But
what's it
it's
called?
worked
The
for me,
La Roche-Posay,
right? And then I'll do that triple cream
moisture.
or barrier
Wow.
cream.
These are like drugugstore products. The only thing that's not a drugstore product
Yeah,
is
the
no, it
Trident.
sounds like it. I was like, CeraVe. Oh yeah, I can get that at Walgreens.
It's all,
Like whatever.
So simple.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
and
worked
that's
for
the
me.
final
Yeah.
Right?
layer.
And then I'll do that triple cream or barrier cream. I'm so saying
Well,
so often. I apologize to
Thank you
the
so much.
listeners.
No, this is great because we're getting a deep
know
dive
you
into
mean.
Yeah,
your
I know
you
skincare
Yeah,
routine.
yeah, and that's the final.
So,
Well, because you
layer.
look great.
Yeah, you do.
Like I'm not gonna like
just
Tanya.
takes
It
me forever.
looks
And also I
freaking
know-
amazing
Thank you so much.
for her
Like,
age.
you
So
walk around
not
and
just for your age, but you look
I know what you
amazing.
mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. So that's basically it. And then obviously like all lotion, my whole body, whatever. But it just takes me forever. Because I'm also there like listening to music, like be bopping around. Like texting me like, are you done yet?
I want to watch the bodybuilders.
We look alike. I always ask
And then you go
Brandon,
cuddle
I'm always
with
like,
Timmy.
"Do you like-" He's like,
Her cute little dog. Yeah, she has the cutest little Pomeranian dog. It's like the
that's
dog,
based- so
Tanya
that's why it
dog. I
takes me so
feel
long.
like you know, like how owners
Yeah,
like.
we look alike.
I always ask Brandon. And in the shower, I try to shave every single time. It just makes it easier.
So that's why it takes me so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have like
I
a
get it.
really solid skincare routine.
Yeah. And in the shower, I try to shave every single time. In the shower.
Yeah.
Do you really? That's
Yeah.
what my mom did.
It's
I
makes it
can't.
easier.
I'm a Sunday.
If I like miss a patch, like it's not that big of a
Sunday.
deal because I'll just do it again the next
I just Sunday self care. Well, I have
You guys,
I have
Yeah,
a
yeah,
4-year-old.
don't even wanna look at my legs.
I can't believe I just told you guys that. I can't believe I told you guys that. Yes.
Because
Whatever,
if
unless I go to
miss
the
a
beach.
patch, like it's not that
Like,
big of a
constant
deal because I'll just do it
exfoliation.
again the next night. And
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, I mean,
Florida.
I try. No one's perfect, but definitely,
I really,
I think
and
this
that's
is why
another
men
thing. Go
age
back to
so
like
much better
my
sometimes
son.
because they're
Like
shaving
I
their
would
face all the time.
say,
It's that like constant exfoliation.
skincare,
So I'm
like
that.
That's a good
totally
hypothesis. I don't.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we'll
am
have to test
definitely
that.
not-
Someone's gonna have to test
And
that.
that's another thing. Go
little
back to like
filler
my
and some
son. Like
lasers.
I would say
I've had my laser,
just
my arms laser.
skincare, like
Your
that's what, like,
routines.
that totally makes me so happy, and like I am definitely not afraid.
No,
of
so
Botox.
it's like not, it's called a
filler.
BBL. It's a broadband light. Is what that stands
I've
for.
had my
What's funny,
laser, my
right
arms
before I
lasered
did it, I
Oh dang! I didn't know that.
twice.
Oh, I gotta go. I gotta.
Do you
walk
have to
in for
cover
my
up your
BBL. And
arms
she's
when
like,
you, like for the whole
what are you
summer?
talking about?
No, so it's called a BBL.
Oh,
it's a
okay.
broadband
person
light.
that
knows
That's
Okay.
what that stands for. What's
Got
funny,
it.
the break before
Wow.
I did it, I was on the phone with my sister.
but
I'm
it's,
like, oh, I
it's a
gotta go. I
laser.
gotta walk in for my BBL.
And
she's
just
like,
from over the
"What are
years
you
in my
talking
20s,
about?" Tanya, you were literally the last person
That needs a BBL. Yeah. No. Yeah.
but it's a laser.
Yeah, and I'll have to show you.
And just from
my-
over the
before-
years,
I
in
still
my
have 2 more
20s, I
sessions.
definitely was not
to
diligent
do.
about sun
Skin-
protection.
But
Yeah.
I really, that type of
your
stuff makes me
skin.
so happy.
And
Like,
I had a
love-
lot
and
of
it doesn't
sunspots
hurt that
and
person
freckles,
doing it
which
so
Wow,
much.
it looks really good.
Yeah, and I'll have to show you
She's
my
like very
before. I still have
amazing,
2 more
well-respected,
sessions.
Oh, wow.
TA in
Uh-huh.
this town.
But
Yeah.
I'm really
She's
that type of stuff
completely
makes me
done
so
well
happy.
with
Like I
people
love,
in
and it
Dr.
doesn't
Saluja's
hurt that
office.
the person that's doing it is like one of my best friends.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
She's like a very
But anyways,
amazing, well respected PA in this.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and she's if you want lasers done, go to Alyssa Capuana at Dr. Saluja's office.
Just so many shout outs
I
today.
need to go. I need to go.
If I could go back,
Okay.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I would have.
I can tell though that really made you
Or
come
done
alive.
something
You
that
were able to
I'm
talk to
very
us and tell us like exactly
I had
what you
acne
do, and then
as a
describe the
kid.
products.
I
And like
might,
I can tell it's
If
you've
I
researched
could-
it.
If I could go
You
back
know?
in time,
That was
I
trauma.
would have gone into.
I would
being
say
an
people that have
esthetician.
had
Or
Really?
something, and
acne,
I'm very
as like
passionate.
in
I had
their
acne as a
30s, 40s, whatever.
in
They
my,
are so about their
early
skincare
teens,
because they
definitely
have
middle
gone-
school.
They've had to start
that was
skincare so
traumatic.
early.
Yeah.
I would
It's
say
like-
people that have had struggled with acne and as like in 30s, 40s, whatever, they are so about their skincare because they have gone.
Yeah.
had to start
Exactly.
skincare so early.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like
I've heard a lot of stories from people, and I my facial girl, she actually had a lot of issues with acne, and that's like how she got into it.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So
exactly.
that doesn't surprise me. No. Okay. Well, I think we're gonna wrap things up. But if you have, do you have like anything else to share that you would like to share? Like how another thing that we love to do here at Sun is like we emphasize adults like playing and having like that childlike wonder. Is there anything that besides bodybuilding that like makes like that you play, how you play, or like what makes you come alive besides that? Yeah.
Is maybe more serious. Like my husband and I, we have real estate together. That's kind of more.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, that's
totally.
That is my play, truly, and that's really all we covered. There's obviously another side of me too that
they're not Airbnbs, and that's
is more maybe more serious. Like my husband and I, we have own real estate together. That's kind of more, which also brings me a lot of joy. We own 4 homes in the area that we do long-term rentals. They're not Airbnbs. And that's been really fulfilling. But that's not play, I would say.
Yeah.
But
I did hear you like to listen to a lot of music around your house.
Every time, Lithe or Lith? Lithe. Okay, so I saved that song, and every time it comes on, I think about you.
He's one of my favorite artists.
And it comes on, because I have it on my saved songs, and I'm like, oh, and then I saw you post it again.
Go like kind of viral on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and I was like, who that is? Because he's one of my favorite artists, and he
popular music.
is from Australia and not super well known.
Yeah, not
over
even
here.
on purpose,
I
but
love
like
all of his songs.
you'll never find me putting on
Beyonce
Beyonce.
like not, and a lot of people know who that is.
I'm just I don't really like pop.
I don't.
I'm gonna have to look back.
Popular music.
Okay.
You like to go against the grain.
If you do, I love
Yeah,
it.
not even on purpose. But like,
Yeah, it's just what you like.
Just because you like it.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I don't really like pop.
Yeah.
Per se.
Yeah.
I get
Yeah,
that.
that's okay.
Yeah, that's totally
If you do,
okay.
I love
by
that.
Tammy Hembrow. I obviously love Australians because she's also from Australia.
Oh, and you did. I have one other
In my-
question. You
yeah,
said that
for
you were.
bodybuilding
I
now,
saw you
that
post the
kind of
other day. You were.
transferred for
You're not
guidance.
influenced
Also
by
lives in
many people,
Australia.
but you're
I-
influenced
Oh,
by
like
those.
Tammy Hembrow. I obviously
Yeah.
love Australians because she's also from Australia. And my coach for bodybuilding now that I've kind of transferred over to for her guidance also lives in Australia. It's like my calling.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean,
I like Australian
as we were
swimwear.
diving into swimwear,
Yeah.
all of
Kind of.
our favorite
They're
brands are from
basically
Australia.
Americanized, but
Because they just
on
do
their
it
own
well
level.
Yeah.
down there.
They do it really well. They're just so creative. They must be attuned to some, like, I don't know, something else, because
They're like us, just on a different wavelength.
yeah,
Kind of.
and
They're basically Americanized.
The
but
ocean.
on their
that's
own
my
level.
surgeon's
Yeah.
house.
It's a different thing.
yeah.
That's his house.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah,
for
he
sure.
calls them
Hold on, and you also said something the other day that you were getting ready to do something else, like you were going to like this chateau looking thing.
I'm getting
what is
that's
this?
my surgeon's
breast
house.
revision on
That's his
November
house.
7th with
Yeah,
him.
he's
and
amazing.
I posted that in my story. Like,
Okay. So she shared this other story the other day, something about how you were going to visit.
I'm getting my
I mean, now
breast
I do
revision
because
on November 7th.
Okay.
on
with
Monday
him.
I had
and I posted
my
that in my
consult
story.
In your
with
stories.
him.
and I just booked and paid for it.
He's
And
a
I
legend.
Oh
He
my
looks like a
gosh.
legend now.
Do you know him personally?
Because
I mean,
now
yeah.
I do.
Okay.
because,
Yeah.
On Monday, I had
So
my consult with him. I just
now
booked and
him.
paid for it. And I actually had painful
But
because
yeah,
he
I'm really
hired
excited.
So many
I've
weeks
my
out
implants.
because
I got them. Do
Wow.
you want me to keep talking?
to secure. He's
I know you're trying to wrap it up.
In
A
demand.
big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So I had my
now I
implants
know
put
him.
in.
Wow.
But yeah,
I
I'm
have-
really
April of
excited.
2005.
My implants,
It
I
was
got
right
them.
before Easter,
Do you want me to
which
keep
is funny, so I
talking?
just
Yeah, I actually am kind of interested.
This is an interesting topic.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had my implants put in.
But
It was April of 2014.
and they're 10-year-old
It was
implants,
right before
meaning
Easter,
like you were
which is
supposed
funny
to
because I
replace
just
them
mentioned
after
Easter
10
because I
years.
competed right
So
before
now
Easter.
I'm approaching
Regardless.
11 years.
Yeah.
Years old with my implants.
But
it's just time to
it
replace
was,
them.
and they're 10-year-old implants.
Regardless,
Like, you were
even if I
supposed to
didn't
replace
want them
after
to
10
replace
years.
them,
Sure.
So
they want a
now
revision
approaching
regardless.
11
They're
years.
going to be a little bit
I'm
more of like a
2.5
high
years old with
profile
my implants.
and they're lifetime implants. So I won't have to
it's
do them
just
again. I'm also
time
going to do
replace
it.
them. And
Yeah, they do those now.
regardless, even if I didn't want them to replace, I definitely
Yeah,
want a
so, and
revision
then I'm also
regardless.
doing
Yeah.
They're going to be a little bit more
internal
like a
bra
high
because I do weight lift
profile,
so often.
and they're
It will
lifetime implants.
kinda
So I
like
have to do them
keep
again.
them
I'm also
like-
gonna
Wait,
do
they
it
have
again, like,
those?
together.
Wow.
They do those
I don't
now.
have a bra on right now.
What?
We have all women listeners.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so and then I'm also doing an internal bra because I do weight lift so often. It will kind of like keep them
Sorry.
together.
Oh my
I don't
gosh, you're
have
like,
a bra
okay, I'm
right now.
signing
We have
off.
all women
Wow.
Most likely.
Except my husband. My husband listens, so
Honestly, like,
Who doesn't listen?
you just happen to have that.
I don't care.
Oh my god,
They're beautiful. Hold on. No, so
I'm glad I'm
wow.
not competing.
Yeah,
I mean,
My body
so that's
is in, like, a
happening
healthier
November
spot to
7th,
go
which
under.
honestly, like,
I'm
not
like
competing
super friggin'
and
lean,
he just happened to have
right?
that
So like
opening
that
'cause
kind
it
of
was
works out
pretty
anyways,
well,
and I
in hand.
should be
But
healed.
I'm glad I'm not
I
competing
should
because
be able to
my
start working
body
out
is in more
at
of a
6
healthier
weeks, which
spot
will
to
put
go
me
under.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
super friggin' lean.
Yeah.
Right? So like that kind of just worked out anyways, and I should be healed. I should be able to start working out at 6 weeks, which will put me like right before Christmas.
Well, that's
Yeah.
awesome. I didn't even know that that was a thing that you could
And
have
I
an
really
internal
haven't
bra
had
support
that
too,
many
because I,
issues,
yeah,
but like the bench
I
press
That's
know
cool.
that,
to me is, like, one
yeah,
of my
they like
favorite lifts.
suggest
Actually, bench press
against
today,
certain
which-
exercises
can I
when you
actually
get
mention
implants too
something
and stuff.
about
So
that?
that will
This is,
hopefully
so
like
random,
help.
but
And I really
today
haven't had
I
that many
did
issues,
135,
but like
which
the
is
bench
the
press
bar and
for
45,
me is
45,
like one of my
for people
favorite
who
lifts.
don't know.
Actually, bench press
And I
today.
did that for
Which
6.
can I
and then I
actually
did one
mention
for
something
45.
about
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
So,
It's
so I went put a
random,
5
but
on each side for
today
145.
I did
And
135,
only got 3.
which
I
is
think I
the
could
bar
have got
45, 45, but also for people who don't know what that means.
And I don't like to
And
fail.
I did that for 6.
I don't
and then
wanna fail
did
around.
one. I'm like, all right, that felt
Dang.
so
I was like
put
a
a
little
5 on each side
disappointed in
for
myself. I'm like,
145,
but I'm like,
and only
Tanya,
got 3. I think
if
I
you
could have got
benched
a
this
fourth,
2
but I was
years
like,
ago, even you would have
like,
been like
Not feeling
I
it.
don't like
Yeah.
to know.
announcing it to the
Yeah.
world.
So,
No. Yeah.
And then I was like a
I'm like,
little
take
disappointed
a
in myself. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, Tanya, if you had benched this 2 years ago,
No,
even you would have been like
no.
over the
And I
moon
haven't been that
announcing it to the
consistent with it,
world.
like,
So I'm like, take
great.
a chill.
Hey, guess what?
Yeah.
It's progress is
like,
not
girl.
linear. Like it's just not like we're gonna
I
have.
haven't been that consistent with it. Like,
Yeah.
so that's what I got. But I mean, it's still so.
But yeah, it's good
So
that you
good.
were able to just like
Yeah.
look back and be like
then
in
to go back
hindsight
to
and
the
say like, oh
comparison,
yeah,
I feel like
Like,
for
actually
me,
this
I'll
is
definitely compare myself.
really fucking
That's
great.
like,
So
I was like that.
Be proud of yourself.
yes,
Be proud of yourself.
exactly. I think we all need to take a moment sometimes to do that
Yeah.
for ourselves.
And then it's to go back to the comparison thing. I
feel
feel
like
like
it's
for me,
probably
like, I'll definitely
healthier.
always compare myself. Well,
I think
I've done this before.
well,
Like,
it's
I've
funny.
done
I
that
just
before.
preach this
And,
to
like,
my daughter.
I always
She's
will
getting
do
really
that,
nervous. So
right?
Sure.
To,
Compare yourself to
today?
yourself in a way
But maybe
too.
that's healthy though too.
Yeah,
I feel
she
like it's
leaves
probably
tomorrow
healthier.
to go.
I
to
think
Miami.
so. I don't mind
It's
that
funny,
I say.
just preach
Yeah.
this to my
I know,
daughter. 'Cause
I know.
She's
But-
getting really nervous, so she goes to.
Yeah,
she,
that's my
what's
daughter,
today?
not me.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, and then
she leaves tomorrow.
That concert
to
though
go
is Friday,
to Miami
so she
with my
leaves
sister
early
to see
Thursday
Taylor Swift.
afternoon.
I know.
And then
She is
A little bit of
Swiftie.
pop then. A little bit of pop.
That's my daughter.
She's a Swiftie.
And then
So
she
she's coming with me,
sees
right?
that concert though is
then
Friday, so she leaves.
so she's missing like a week and a
Thursday
half of school.
afternoon.
And then we go to
And then they
Vancouver
come back
the first week of
Saturday,
December. So she's like starting to
basically
stress
around
like, oh my
lunch,
gosh,
and then we
I'm
leave
gonna
for
go to
Dubai
school. Like, I'm like,
on Sunday.
just
She's
enjoy
coming
the
with me,
moment.
right?
You're gonna get
And
through it. Like,
then
live in the moment.
so she's missing like a
enjoy
week and a half of
today.
school.
I'm like,
and then
girl,
we go to
talk to yourself like
Vancouver
that,
the
Tanya.
first week of December. So she's
talk to
like
myself
starting
like
to stress.
that.
Like,
But,
oh gosh, I'm gonna
sometimes we
fall
need, like,
asleep.
a little
Like, just
reminder
enjoy
to
the
just,
moment.
you
You're
know,
gonna get
like,
through it.
compare
Like,
yourself
live in
to
the
yourself. That
moment.
just goes back to like
enjoy
Wow.
today.
the moment that you're
I'm like,
in
girl, talk
and
to
being
yourself like
happy
that,
that you're
Tanya.
there.
Talk to myself. Yeah. Sometimes we just need like a little reminder to just
Being present.
Yeah, you can compare yourself to yourself. That just goes back to like
Yeah.
living in the moment that you're in and being.
It's easier
happy
said
that
than
you're
done.
there.
It's really
Yeah.
easy to start,
Yeah.
you know, stressing about the
Meredith and I
future,
talk
but then
about that a
you're
lot.
losing the now.
About how we're actually doing gratitude
Being
series this next
Yeah.
this next
Yeah.
couple weeks actually.
4
We're
weeks.
doing
We're gonna do it
we're
4
gonna
weeks.
Easier
do
said than done. It's really easy to
Yeah.
start, stressing about the future, but then you're losing the now.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And but it's hard when we're in this constant like routine and cycle of life, and we have these responsibilities as moms and with our work and everything like that. Like we get caught up in that a lot, and it's easy to because it's fast paced. That's the way of life right now.
Absolutely true.
But we have to practice gratitude and force ourselves
We're
to
very
slow
fortunate-
down.
fortunate to be
And
able
yeah, we were
to
just
even
talking
have
about that, how
memories like that.
it's hard to get there sometimes.
Absolutely. True.
Yeah. So I mean,
But it's worth it.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That journey is worth it to
Yeah,
find
it's very
gratitude.
We're fortunate to be able to even have worries like that.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
'Cause back in the day.
There's so many things.
Yeah. No.
Talking about rewiring your brain to have and express that appreciation and gratitude
Well, in this part
instead
the
of
world,
like
yeah,
allowing yourself
but-
to spiral. So how can you rewire? Because we're in a different day and age now. Like it's not like we're not fearing for our lives anymore.
Yeah.
Well, we are. Hold on.
Well, in this part of the world, yeah.
How many weeks away are we? No, just
I know. Thank you for having me again.
That's true. We are very fortunate, and we are fortunate to have you as a guest, Tanya. Thank you so much for having. Yeah, of course. It was our pleasure for sure. So
I'm so glad you came again.
you.
I
And
know,
you
thank
say
you for having me again.
yes,
Yeah.
Now we can share it with the world.
So,
and we
now
can.
they know that you did. You got your bench press.
private, and then
I'll be bench
you'll still
pressing
use
forever.
Facebook. I still
I love
do.
it.
And,
I love
and
it.
if you want to connect with Tanya, how do we connect
Yeah,
with you?
and then
So,
there's
I
certain
guess
people, like family members. As well.
Would
Yeah.
maybe be the best way to my TikTok's still
Tanya,
private.
Tanya,
The people
period,
still use
S,
Facebook.
period.
I still
I
do.
don't know. Yeah,
because-
yeah. That's like what
And
all
it's
the
wellness 'cause
schooling
I'm the
stuff is
wellness
on. I feel like you almost have to
and
be.
then there's certain people like family members.
Yeah.
Regardless, I'm Tanya, Tanya, period S, period wellness.
Okay. And if they,
And it's wellness 'cause I'm the
and if
wellness
you
division.
want,
Yeah.
okay, okay, got it.
Yeah.
And if you want to train with Tanya, I think she has a wait list, but
I do actually still.
yeah, so definitely just reach out and see if you can get on it if you want to
you so
train with
much.
her.
Bye.
But it was a pleasure. Thank you so much. You led us into our next episode for next week, which is about gratitude. And thank you so much for listening in as well. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Yeah, of course. Just before you go, if you want to sprinkle some love our way without spending a dime, why not hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel? It's like giving us a hug through the internet. So please give that button a little tap tap and join our Sun family.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. We hope you found the discussions enlightening and inspiring. Please note that the information provided in this podcast is for general informational purposes only. All opinions expressed here are solely our own and do not reflect the views of any sponsors or affiliate partners.
And before you apply any of the health strategies discussed on the podcast, we recommend consulting with a professional to ensure it is appropriate for your specific circumstances.
Remember, we're here to spark conversation and ideas, not substitute for any professional advice.